Hello, and welcome to English in Fluency, the place where you stop translating in your head and start feeling the language. I am your host, Alex, and I am so incredibly happy to have you here with me today. Today, we are going to go on a very special journey together. It is a journey that will take us deep into the art of listening. I know that listening can sometimes be the most frightening part of learning English. When you are reading, you have time. You can stop, look at a word, check a dictionary, and think about the grammar. But when you are listening, especially to a native speaker or in a busy environment, the words seem to fly by like birds in a storm. You try to catch them, but they are too fast. You might feel your heart beating faster. You might feel panic rising in your chest because you missed one word. And then you missed the next three words because you were worrying about the first one. I want you to know that this feeling is completely normal. Every single person who has ever learned a second language has felt this exact same fear. But today, we are going to change that. We are going to change your mindset from fear to curiosity. In this long and relaxing session, we are going to practice a specific skill that will change your life. We are going to practice listening for key words and catching the main idea. Imagine that English conversation is like a puzzle. When you look at a puzzle, you do not need to see every single tiny piece to understand what the picture is. If you see a blue sky, a yellow circle, and green waves, you know it is a picture of the beach. You do not need to see every grain of sand to know it is a beach. Listening is exactly the same. You do not need to understand every single preposition, article, or auxiliary verb to understand the message. You only need the key words, the heavy words, the words that carry the meaning. Today, I am going to tell you a story. It is a long, detailed story about a young man named Leo. Through Leo's experiences, we are going to practice this skill together. I want you to relax. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Forget about grammar rules for a moment. Just listen to my voice. Listen to the story, and let your brain naturally pick out the important pictures. Let us begin with our main character, Leo. Leo is a graphic designer who has lived in a small, quiet town his entire life. He has studied English for many years in school, reading textbooks and taking grammar tests, but he has never actually been to an English-speaking country. He is good at reading and writing, but he is terrified of speaking and listening. One day, Leo gets an amazing opportunity. His company asks him to travel to a busy, vibrant city called Rivendell to attend a big design conference. Rivendell is famous for its art, its coffee culture, and its very fast-talking people. Leo is excited, but he is also very nervous. He packs his suitcase with his best clothes, he packs his sketchbook, and he packs his old English dictionary. As he gets on the airplane, he promises himself that he will try to survive. He tells himself that he does not need to be perfect. He just needs to understand the main idea. The flight is long and tiring. Leo tries to sleep, but he is too anxious. He listens to the announcements on the plane. The flight attendant speaks very quickly over the speaker system. The sound is a little fuzzy and muffled. At first, Leo panics. He hears a stream of sounds that make no sense. But then, he remembers his rule. Listen for the key words. He closes his eyes and focuses. He hears the word turbulence. He knows that word. It means the plane will shake. Then he hears the word seatbelt. He looks around. The sign above his head lights up. He clicks his seatbelt. He did not understand the whole sentence. He did not hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing some rough air. Please return to your seats." He just heard turbulence and seatbelt, and that was enough. He understood the main idea. He was safe. This was his first victory. When the plane lands, Leo steps into the airport terminal. It is huge, bright, and incredibly noisy. There are thousands of people everywhere. There are suitcases rolling on the floor, creating a rumbling sound. There are babies crying. There are announcements happening every 30 seconds. Leo feels small. He needs to find his luggage, but he does not know which carousel to go to. He looks at his ticket, but he is confused. He sees an information desk with a friendly-looking woman standing behind it. Her name tag says Sarah. Leo takes a deep breath. He walks up to the desk. He needs to ask for help, but more importantly, he needs to understand her answer. He approaches Sarah and says, "Excuse me, where is the luggage for Flight 402? Sarah looks at him and smiles. She speaks quickly and cheerfully. She says, "Oh, welcome. You just need to go down the escalator over there, turn left at the coffee shop, and it's carousel number 5. Leo freezes for a second. That was a lot of information. His brain tries to translate everything. Down, escalator, left, shop, number 5. He did not catch the first part where she said, "Welcome," or "You just need to." Those are filler words. They are polite, but they are not the main idea. Leo replays the sound in his head. He focuses on the nouns and the numbers. Escalator, left, coffee, 5. He repeats it in his mind. Escalator, left, coffee, 5. He looks at Sarah and nods. He points to the escalator. "Number 5? He asks, just to confirm. Sarah smiles and gives him a thumbs up. "Yes, number 5, she confirms. Leo walks away feeling triumphant. He realized that he did not need to parse the grammar of her sentence. He just needed the directions. By focusing on the key words, the landmarks and the numbers, he built a map in his head. He walks to the escalator, goes down, sees the coffee shop, turns left, and there it is. The big sign says, Carousel 5. He finds his blue suitcase immediately. Now Leo has his bag, but he has a new challenge. He needs to get to his hotel. The hotel is called the Grand View, and it is in the center of the city. He walks out of the airport doors and is hit by a wall of noise. Cars are honking, buses are hissing, people are shouting for taxis. Leo waits in the line for a taxi. When it is his turn, a yellow cab pulls up. The driver is an older man with a gray beard and a kind face. Leo lifts his heavy suitcase into the trunk and climbs into the back seat. The car smells like vanilla air freshener and old leather. The driver looks in the rearview mirror and says, "Where to, buddy?" Leo understands this. It is short and simple. "The Grand View Hotel, please," Leo says clearly. The driver nods and starts the car. "All right, the Grand View. That's downtown. Traffic is pretty brutal this time of day, so it might take us about 45 minutes. You from around here?" Leo listens carefully. The driver has a strong accent. He connects his words together. Traffic is pretty brutal. Sounds like one long word. Leo catches traffic. He catches 45 minutes. He catches from around here? Leo smiles. He understands the context. The driver is making small talk and warning him about the time. Leo replies, "No, I am from a small town. This is my first time here." The driver laughs. "First time, huh? Well, get ready. This city never sleeps. You here for business or pleasure?" Again, Leo uses his detective skills. Key words: business, pleasure. The driver is asking why he is here. Leo replies, "Business, a design conference." The driver nods. "Nice. Design. Good money in that." They sit in silence for a while. Leo looks out the window. He sees tall skyscrapers, bright billboards, and rushing crowds. He feels like he is in a movie. Suddenly, the driver says something else. "Hey, mind if I take the tunnel? Bridge is backed up." Leo panics slightly. He does not know the geography of the city. He hears tunnel. He hears bridge. He hears backed up. He guesses that backed up means traffic is bad, just like a drain that is clogged. He assumes the driver is suggesting a faster route. This is a crucial part of listening, making logical guesses based on context. If a driver asks a question about the route, he is usually trying to save time. Leo trusts his instinct. "Yes," Leo says, "the tunnel is fine." The driver nods and turns the steering wheel. "Good call. Saves us 10 minutes easily." Leo breathes a sigh of relief. He guessed correctly. This is the secret, my friends. You have to trust your intuition. Your brain is smarter than you think. It can fill in the missing gaps if you let it. They arrive at the Grand View Hotel. It is a beautiful old building with gold doors and a red carpet. Leo pays the driver and thanks him. He drags his suitcase into the lobby. The lobby is quiet and smells like fresh flowers. Soft jazz music is playing in the background. This is a nice change from the noise of the airport and the street. Leo walks to the reception desk. There is a young man wearing a sharp suit, typing on a computer. He looks up and smiles professionally. "Good afternoon, sir. How may I assist you today?" Leo is ready. He has practiced this conversation in his head many times. "I have a reservation," Leo says. "My name is Leo Miller." The receptionist types on his keyboard. Click, click, click. "Ah, yes, Mr. Miller. Welcome. I see your reservation here for 5 nights. A standard room with a city view. Is that correct?" Leo nods. "Yes, that is correct." The receptionist continues. "Okay, excellent. I just need a credit card for incidentals. And your passport, please." Leo hears credit card and passport. He hands them over. The receptionist swipes the card and scans the passport. Then, the receptionist starts giving instructions. This is the hard part. Instructions can be complicated. "Okay, Mr. Miller, you are all set. You are in room 402. The elevators are just behind you to the right. Breakfast is served from 6:30 to 10 in the dining room on the first floor. And here is your Wi-Fi password. It is just your room number and your last name. Enjoy your stay." Leo focuses hard. He creates a mental checklist. Room number? 402. Elevators? Behind and right. Breakfast? 6:30 to 10. Wi-Fi? Room number and name. He repeats these facts in his head. 402. Breakfast until 10. Wi-Fi is easy. He smiles at the receptionist. "Thank you very much," Leo says. He takes his key card. He walks to the elevators. He presses the button for the 4th floor. He feels proud. He navigated the airport, the taxi, and the hotel check-in without needing a translator app, and without asking anyone to repeat themselves 5 times. He did it by relaxing and listening for the anchors in the sentences, the key words that hold the meaning. When Leo enters his room, he drops his suitcase on the floor and falls onto the bed. The bed is soft and comfortable. He stares at the ceiling. He realizes that listening is exhausting work. It takes a lot of mental energy to focus that hard, but it is also rewarding. He feels independent. He decides to take a shower and then go out to find some dinner. He is hungry. He remembers seeing a burger place across the street when he arrived in the taxi. He changes his clothes and heads back downstairs. Outside, the sun is setting. The city lights are turning on. It is beautiful. Leo crosses the street to the burger restaurant. It is crowded and loud. There is music playing, rock music with heavy drums. People are laughing and shouting orders. Leo walks up to the counter. The menu is on the wall, but it is written in fancy, messy chalk handwriting that is hard to read. A server with a green hat looks at him. "What can I get for you?" the server asks fast. "What can I get for you?" It sounds like one distinct noise. Leo knows this situation. He knows the context. He is at a restaurant. The question must be, "What do you want to eat?" Leo is prepared. "I would like a cheeseburger and fries, please," Leo says. The server nods and writes it down. Then the server asks a follow-up question. "You want everything on that? Onions, pickles, spicy sauce?" Leo hears the list of ingredients. He likes onions and pickles, but he is not sure about the spicy sauce. He hears spicy. He decides to be safe. "Everything, but no spicy sauce, please." The server nods again. "Drink?" Leo pauses. "Coke, please." The server taps the screen. "For here or to go?" This is a classic fast food phrase. "For here or to go?" The words run together. "For here or to go?" Leo catches the rhythm. He knows there are two choices: stay or leave. He gestures to the tables. "For here," he says. "All right, that'll be $15.50, the server says. Leo hears the numbers. $15.50. He hands over a $20 bill. He gets his change and a plastic number stand to put on his table. He finds a small table in the corner and sits down. He watches the people around him. He sees a group of friends chatting. He tries to eavesdrop, which means to listen secretly, just to practice. They are laughing. One girl says, "And then he dropped the cake on the floor." Everyone laughs. Leo smiles. He understood that. He heard dropped, cake, and floor. He can imagine the scene perfectly. A birthday party, perhaps. A clumsiness. A disaster. It is funny. He feels connected to these strangers because he understood their story, even just a tiny part of it. After dinner, Leo decides to walk around the block. The air is cool. He walks past a bus stop. Two elderly women are sitting on the bench, waiting. One of them says to the other, "It's getting chilly, isn't it? I wish I brought my scarf." The other woman nods. "Yeah, forecast said rain tomorrow, too." Leo captures the weather words. Chilly? Scarf. Rain. Tomorrow. He looks up at the sky. It does look cloudy. He mentally prepares himself to bring an umbrella tomorrow. He realizes that listening is not just about conversation. It is about survival. It is about knowing what is happening in the world around you. Listening gives you information about the weather, about danger, about opportunities. Leo returns to the hotel. He is tired, but happy. He gets into the elevator. A woman enters with him. She is holding a leash with a small, fluffy dog. Leo is surprised. He didn't know dogs were allowed in the hotel. The woman sees him looking at the dog and smiles. "He's a service dog," she explains. "He's working right now." Leo hears service dog and working. He understands. He should not pet the dog. He nods respectfully. "He is very cute," Leo says. The woman smiles. "Thank you. His name is Barnaby." "Nice to meet you, Barnaby," Leo says. The elevator opens on his floor. "Have a good night," the woman says. "You too," Leo replies. Back in his room, Leo reflects on his day. He realizes that he had interactions with a flight attendant, an information desk clerk, a taxi driver, a hotel receptionist, a restaurant server, and a woman in an elevator. In each situation, the vocabulary was different. The speed was different. The accents were different. But the strategy was the same. He did not try to translate every word into his native language. He did not get stuck on words he didn't know. He simply opened his ears like a net and tried to catch the big fish. The key words. And by catching the key words, he understood the main idea. He realized that the main idea is usually hidden in the nouns and the verbs. The adjectives help, but the nouns and verbs tell the story. Leo gets ready for bed. He brushes his teeth and puts on his pajamas. He sets his alarm for 7 in the morning. Tomorrow is the first day of the design conference. That will be a bigger challenge. He will have to listen to speeches and presentations. He will have to network with other designers. The language will be more technical and professional. But Leo feels ready. He knows that if he starts to panic, he just needs to breathe and focus on the anchors. He turns off the light and closes his eyes. The city noise outside is a low hum, like a lullaby. Now, I want you, the listener, to think about Leo's day. I want you to put yourself in his shoes. How would you feel in the taxi? How would you feel at the burger shop? Would you have panicked when the server spoke fast? Or would you have trusted your ears to catch onions and pickles? Listening is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But you have to use it correctly. If you try to lift a weight that is too heavy, if you try to understand 100% of the words, you will hurt yourself. You will get frustrated and quit. But if you lift the right weight, if you aim for 70% or 80% understanding, you will build strength, you will build confidence. Let's talk a little bit more about this concept of key words. In English, we have two types of words: content words and function words. Content words are the words that have meaning. They are nouns like cat, house, idea, main verbs like run, eat, think, adjectives like big, beautiful, difficult, and adverbs like quickly, never, loudly. These are the words Leo was listening for. These words are usually stressed. That means speakers say them louder and longer. Then we have function words. These are the grammar words. They are pronouns like he, she, it, prepositions like in, at, on, articles like a, the, and auxiliary verbs like is, have, do. These words are important for grammar, but they don't carry the main picture. Native speakers usually say these words very quickly and quietly. We sometimes swallow them. We squeeze them together. That is why "what can I get for you" sounds like "what can I get for ya?" The function words can, I, for, and you get reduced. The content word get is the strongest. When you listen, your brain naturally wants to hear everything clearly. But because native speakers reduce the function words, you might feel like you are missing things. You are not missing the meaning. You are just missing the grammar glue. And that is okay. As a B1 learner, your goal is communication, not perfection. I want you to practice this detective mindset. For the rest of the day, whenever you hear English, maybe in a song, maybe in a movie, or maybe in another video, I want you to ignore the small words. Don't try to translate the whole sentence. Just pick out 3 key words, just 3, and ask yourself, what is the story based on these 3 words? If you hear a song and you catch love, cry, and goodbye, you know it is a sad breakup song. You caught the main idea. That is a victory. Celebrate those victories. The sun rises over the city, casting a golden light on the tall glass buildings. In room 402 of the Grand View Hotel, Leo's alarm clock buzzes at 7 o'clock sharp. He wakes up feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Today is the first day of the International Design Conference. This is why he came here. He jumps out of bed, showers, and puts on his favorite blue shirt. He looks in the mirror and gives himself a little pep talk. "You can do this, Leo," he whispers. "Just listen for the nouns and verbs. Keep it simple." He goes down to the first floor for breakfast. The dining room is busy. The clinking of silverware on plates creates a constant rhythm, like light rain. The smell of bacon and strong coffee fills the air. Leo grabs a plate and stands in line at the egg station. There is a chef in a tall white hat standing behind the counter. He is flipping omelets in a pan with impressive skill. He looks at Leo and asks a question. But the stove is loud, hissing with steam. The chef says something that sounds like, "How do you want 'em?" Leo blinks. "How do you want 'em?" It is one fast blur of sound. Leo's brain quickly separates the sounds. He knows he is standing in front of eggs. He knows the context is breakfast. He guesses the question is, "How do you want them?" Leo smiles and says, "Scrambled, please." The chef nods and throws some eggs into a pan. "Cheese or veggies?" the chef asks. This time it is clear. "Cheese, please," Leo answers. He takes his plate and finds a seat. He realizes that context is his best friend. Because he knew where he was, at an egg station, he could predict the question before it was even asked. This is a superpower you have too. Prediction. If you are at a coffee shop, predict questions about size and milk. If you are at a store, predict questions about bags and receipts. Predicting helps your brain prepare for the key words. After breakfast, Leo walks 2 blocks to the convention center. It is a massive modern building shaped like a giant silver wave. There are hundreds of people streaming through the front doors. They are wearing badges and carrying tote bags. Everyone seems to be talking at once. It is a sea of English. Leo feels a wave of anxiety. It is loud, very loud. He walks to the registration desk to get his badge. The line is long. He listens to the people around him. 2 men in front of him are talking about fonts. "I really prefer Helvetica," one says. "It's cleaner." The other man laughs. "Helvetica is boring. I like Futura." Leo smiles. He understands this. These are design words. He feels part of the tribe. When he gets to the front, he gives his name, gets his badge, and hangs it around his neck. He feels official now. He walks into the main auditorium for the opening speech. The room is dark, lit only by blue stage lights. A giant screen displays the words, "Design for the Future." Leo finds a seat near the middle. A woman walks onto the stage. The crowd claps. She begins to speak. She is using a microphone, which makes her voice loud and slightly echoing. "Good morning, everyone," she says. "Welcome to the future of creativity. Today, we are not just talking about aesthetics. We are talking about functionality. We are talking about empathy." Leo leans forward. These are big words: aesthetics, functionality, empathy. He knows function and he knows empathy means feeling for others. He focuses on the screen behind her. She shows a picture of a chair. Then she shows a picture of a person sitting comfortably in the chair. She says, "Design must solve problems." Leo looks at the picture. He hears "solve problems." He connects the two. The chair solves the problem of sitting. He understands the point. Throughout the speech, he does not understand every sentence. She tells a joke about a bad website, and the audience laughs, but Leo doesn't catch the punchline. He feels a little left out, but he doesn't panic. He just waits for the next slide. He waits for the next key word. He realizes that in a long speech, you can miss small parts and still understand the big message. The big message here is that design is about helping people. He writes this down in his notebook. Design equals helping. He is summarizing. Summarizing is a great way to check your listening. If you can write the main idea in 3 words, you understood it. At 10:30, there is a coffee break. The lights come up, and everyone moves to the lobby. There are tables with coffee, tea, and cookies. Leo stands near a table sipping a cup of black coffee. He is looking at his schedule, trying to decide which workshop to go to next. Suddenly, a voice speaks right next to his ear. "That was a pretty intense opening, wasn't it?" Leo jumps slightly. He turns around. A young woman with bright red glasses and curly hair is smiling at him. She is holding a half-eaten cookie. "Oh," Leo stammers. "Yes, very intense." The woman extends her hand. "I'm Sophie. I'm from Melbourne. Nice to meet you." Leo shakes her hand. "I am Leo, from a small town." Sophie smiles warmly. "Cool. I love small towns. Big cities can be a bit much, yeah?" Sophie speaks with a different accent. She stretches her vowels. Her no sounds a bit like now. Her can't sounds like can't. Leo has to adjust his ears. It takes him a few seconds to tune in to her frequency. This is normal. When you hear a new accent, give your brain 20 seconds to calibrate. Don't panic. Just listen to the rhythm. Sophie continues. "So, Leo, which workshop are you hitting up next?" "I'm thinking about the typography one, but the user experience one looks decent too." Leo hears typography and user experience. These are the choices. He looks at his brochure. I want to go to the user experience one," he says slowly. Sophie nods enthusiastically. "Awesome, me too. Hey, we can be workshop buddies. I hate sitting alone." Leo feels a surge of happiness. He made a friend, a native speaker friend. "Okay," Leo says. "Let's go together." They walk through the hallway, chatting. Well, Sophie is chatting. Leo is mostly nodding and saying, "Yes," or "Really?" Sophie talks fast. She uses slang. She says things like, "That speaker was totally on point," and "I reckon this conference is gonna be heaps good." Leo doesn't know what heaps means, but from her happy face and the word good, he assumes it means very. He uses her tone of voice to guess the meaning. Her tone is up, bright, and energetic, so the words must be positive. This is emotional listening. You listen to the music of the voice, not just the lyrics. If someone sounds angry, even if you don't know the words, you know there is a problem. If someone sounds excited, you know it is good news. They arrive at a corridor with many doors. Sophie stops and looks at her phone. "Okay," she says. "The app says the user experience workshop is in Hall B. Let's hustle. We're running a bit late." She starts walking quickly to the left. Leo follows her, but his brain is stuck on one sound. He heard Hall B, but when he looks at the sign on the wall, the arrow for Hall B points right. The arrow for Hall D points left. He stops. He is confused. Did she say B or D? The letters B, D, T, P, and V are very hard to distinguish in English, especially over background noise. They are called plosives and fricatives that sound very similar. Leo feels a moment of fear. If he follows her and she is wrong, they will be late. If he stops her and corrects her, he might look stupid. But he remembers his goal. He needs to catch the main idea, but he also needs to be accurate with details like locations. He decides to be brave. He calls out, "Sophie!" Sophie stops and turns around. "Yeah?" she asks. Leo points to the sign. "Did you say Hall B as in boy, or Hall D as in dog?" This is a magic trick. Using a reference word like boy for B and dog for D is the perfect way to clarify spelling. Sophie looks at the sign. She looks at her phone. Her eyes go wide. "Oh my gosh!" she laughs. "I said B, but I started walking toward D. I am such a scatterbrain today. Thank you, Leo. You saved us." She laughs loudly and hits her forehead with her hand. Leo smiles. He didn't look stupid. He looked helpful. He realized that even native speakers make mistakes. They get confused. They get distracted. Clarifying wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of paying attention. "It is okay," Leo says. The letters sound similar. "They totally do," Sophie agrees. "Come on, Hall B is this way." They turn right and walk together. They arrive just as the door is closing. They find 2 seats in the back row. The workshop is fascinating. It is about how to design apps that are easy for older people to use. The speaker speaks slowly and clearly. Leo understands almost everything. He feels confident. He glances at Sophie. She is taking notes furiously. She draws a little smiley face in her notebook. She catches Leo looking and gives him a thumbs up. Leo feels a sense of camaraderie. He is not just a tourist anymore. He is a participant. After the workshop, it is time for lunch. The cafeteria is serving sandwiches. Leo and Sophie grab trays and find a table near a window. The noise level is high again. It is hard to hear. Sophie takes a bite of her sandwich and asks, "So, Leo, what do you do back home? Are you freelance or agency?" Leo leans in. "I work for a small agency," he says. "We design logos for local businesses, bakeries, mechanics, that sort of thing." Sophie nods. "That's sweet. Real grassroots stuff. I work for a big corporate firm. It's okay, but sometimes I feel like a cog in the machine, you know?" Cog in the machine. Leo frowns slightly. He imagines a machine with gears. A cog is a small part of a gear. He understands the metaphor. She feels small and unimportant in a big system. "I understand," Leo says. "You feel not creative?" Sophie sighs. "Exactly. It's all templates and guidelines. No soul. I'm hoping this conference gives me some inspiration to maybe start my own thing." Leo listens to her dream. He hears the longing in her voice. He forgets about the grammar. He forgets about the noise in the cafeteria. He just listens to the human being in front of him. "You have good energy," Leo tells her. "I think you can do it." Sophie smiles, and her eyes crinkle at the corners. "Thanks, Leo. That means a lot." This moment right here is why we learn English. Not to pass tests, not to memorize irregular verbs. We learn English to connect, to tell someone you can do it, to understand someone's frustration with their job. Leo reached a B1 level not because he memorized the dictionary, but because he learned to listen with his heart and his logic combined. He used context clues to understand cog in the machine. He used emotional cues to understand her sadness. And he used simple, direct sentences to respond. As they finish lunch, Sophie checks her watch. "Hey, there is a panel discussion on artificial intelligence in art, starting in 10 minutes. It's in the main auditorium. Wanna go?" Leo freezes. Artificial intelligence. AI. That sounds difficult. That sounds like fast, technical talking. He feels the fear coming back. "I don't know," he says. Maybe it is too difficult for me to understand. Sophie looks at him seriously. Leo, your English is fine. We've been chatting for an hour. Besides, I bet half the people there won't understand it either. AI is confusing for everyone. Just come. We can listen for the buzzwords. Buzzwords. Another new word. Leo guesses it means popular words. Keywords. Sophie is suggesting exactly what he has been practicing. Just listen for the keywords. Okay, Leo says. I will come. They clear their table and head back to the auditorium. The panel discussion is indeed difficult. There are 4 experts on stage. They talk about algorithms, generative models, ethics, and copyright. They speak over each other. They interrupt. It is chaotic. Leo feels his brain hurting. He starts to lose focus. He looks at the ceiling. He looks at his shoes. He starts to translate in his head again. He hears the algorithmic bias inherent in the dataset, and his brain shuts down. He feels panic. He looks at Sophie. She is not taking notes. She is just watching them, looking a bit bored. She leans over and whispers, "They are just using big words to sound smart. The main point is, machines are fast, but humans are creative." Leo laughs quietly. Sophie summarized a 20-minute debate into one sentence. Machines are fast. Humans are creative. Leo realizes he was trying too hard again. He was trying to catch every droplet of water instead of just swimming in the river. He relaxes. He stops trying to define inherent and data set. He just listens for the flow. He hears danger. He hears opportunity. He hears tool. He understands that the experts are arguing about whether AI is a tool or a threat. That is enough. That is the main idea. When the panel finishes, Leo feels exhausted but proud. It is 4 p.m. The first day of the conference is ending. Sophie stands up and stretches. "My brain is fried," she says. "I need fresh air. I'm going to head back to my hotel and crash. You?" Leo nods. "Me too. My brain is also fried." He likes this expression. Fried, like an egg. Cooked. Done. "Hey, let's meet up tomorrow?" Sophie asks. "There is a mixer event in the evening. Drinks and music. It'll be fun." Leo smiles. "Yes. See you tomorrow, Sophie." Leo walks back to the Grand View Hotel. The city feels different now. Yesterday, it was a scary monster of noise. Today, it feels like a puzzle he is slowly solving. He walks past a newsstand. He sees a newspaper headline, "City Mayor Announces New Park." He understands it instantly. He walks past a street musician playing a guitar. He sings, "I'm waiting for the world to change." Leo understands the lyrics. He feels a rhythm in the city now. He enters the hotel lobby. The receptionist, the same young man from yesterday, nods at him. "Good day, Mr. Miller?" Leo smiles. "Yes," he says, "a very good day." He goes up to his room, takes off his shoes, and sits by the window. He looks down at the traffic. He thinks about the Hall B versus Hall D incident. He realizes that asking for clarification was the most powerful thing he did all day. It turned a potential disaster into a moment of connection. It showed he was engaged. I want to pause the story here and give you, the listener, a specific tool for your toolbox. We talked about clarification. There are 3 levels of clarification you can use, depending on who you are talking to. Level 1 is casual, for friends like Sophie. You can say, "Sorry," or "Say that again," or "What was that?" It is short and quick. Level 2 is professional, but friendly. This is good for colleagues or hotel staff. You can say, "Could you repeat that, please?" Or, "I didn't quite catch that." Or, "Did you say 50 or 15?" This shows you are polite. Level 3 is very formal, for when you are speaking to a boss or an authority figure. You can say, "I beg your pardon?" Or, "Could you mind repeating that for me?" Or, "I want to make sure I understood you correctly. Did you mean—" Leo used a mix of level 1 and 2 with Sophie. Did you say B as in boy? This is a specific technique called the phonetic alphabet strategy. You don't need to know the military alphabet, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. You can just use simple words everyone knows. A as in apple, S as in sun, M as in mother. This is incredibly useful over the phone or in noisy places. If you are spelling your name, don't just say L-E-O. Say L for lion, E for elephant, O for orange. It makes you sound confident and ensures 100% understanding. Now, back to Leo. He decides to order room service for dinner because he is too tired to go out. He looks at the menu in the room. He picks up the phone. This is another listening challenge, the telephone. On the phone, you have no lips to read, no body language, just voice. Leo dials the number. "Room service, this is Mark speaking." Leo takes a breath. "Hello, I would like to order the club sandwich." Mark asks, "White, wheat, or rye bread?" Leo wasn't expecting this choice. He knows white. He guesses wheat is brown. He doesn't know rye. He decides to stick with what he knows. "White bread, please. Fries or salad?" "Fries." "Anything to drink?" "Just water." "Okay, 30 minutes. Click. Short, efficient, successful. Leo hangs up the phone and feels like a king. He managed the phone call. He didn't panic when he heard rye. He just ignored the option he didn't understand and chose the one he did. This is the safety option. In a multiple-choice situation, if you understand option A but not option B or C, it is perfectly okay to choose option A, just to be safe. You don't always have to be adventurous. Sometimes you just need to eat dinner. Leo eats his sandwich and watches a bit of local TV. The news is on. The news anchor speaks incredibly fast. Leo tries to follow. He sees images of a fire. He hears firefighters. He hears downtown. He hears safe. He puts the pieces together. There was a fire downtown, but everyone is safe. He feels satisfied. He turns off the TV. As he lies in bed, he thinks about tomorrow. Sophie mentioned a mixer event. That sounds like a party. Parties are the hardest environment for listening. Loud music. Many people talking at once. Slang, jokes, alcohol. It will be the ultimate test. But Leo has a secret weapon now. He knows Sophie. Having one person you know in a room full of strangers makes a huge difference. She can be his anchor. She can help him understand the context. Leo falls asleep with a smile on his face. He is dreaming in English. He sees giant letters floating in the air. B for boy, D for dog. He catches them and puts them in his pocket. He is no longer a victim of the language. He is a collector. He is collecting understanding, one key word at a time. The next evening, the challenge begins. It is 7 p.m. on Friday. The conference hall has been transformed. The rows of chairs are gone. Now, there are high tables with white tablecloths. There are waiters carrying trays of colorful drinks. There is a DJ in the corner playing upbeat funk music. The lights are dim, casting a purple glow over the room. But the most overwhelming thing is the sound. It is a roar. A constant buzzing roar of 200 people talking at the same time. In acoustics, we call this the cocktail party effect. For a computer, this noise is impossible to separate. But for the human brain, it is possible. Our brains have an amazing ability to focus on one single stream of sound and ignore the rest. Leo stands at the entrance. He feels a knot in his stomach. The noise hits him like a physical wave. He thinks, I can't do this. It is too fast. It is too loud. He sees groups of people laughing and chatting. They look so comfortable. He feels like an outsider. He clutches his room key in his pocket. He almost turns around to go back to the quiet safety of room 402. But then he sees a hand waving in the air. It is Sophie. She is standing near the bar with two other people. She is wearing a bright yellow dress and her red glasses. She spots him and waves enthusiastically. "Leo, over here!" she shouts over the music. Leo takes a deep breath. "Okay," he tells himself. "Target acquired. Just walk to Sophie." He walks through the crowd. He has to dodge a waiter. He has to squeeze past a group of tall men talking about architecture. He focuses only on Sophie's yellow dress. When he reaches her, the noise seems slightly manageable because he has a destination. "You made it!" Sophie yells happily. She hands him a drink. "This is punch. It's fruity. Don't worry, not too strong." Leo smiles. "Thank you, Sophie. It is very loud in here." Sophie laughs. "I know. You practically have to scream. Leo, I want you to meet my friends. This is Marcus and Elena." She points to the two people standing with her. Marcus is a tall man with a beard and a cool leather jacket. Elena is a woman with elegant silver hair and a kind smile. "Nice to meet you, mate," Marcus says. He speaks very fast, with a deep voice that rumbles. "Heard you're a designer, too. Small town vibes, right?" Leo's brain races. "Mate, vibes, right?" He catches the key words. Designer, small town. He nods. "Yes. Nice to meet you, Marcus." "Yes, small town." Marcus grins. "Love that. I'm from New York. City never sleeps, right? Sometimes I wish I could escape to the quiet. The hustle gets real old, real fast." Leo misses hustle. He misses real old. But he catches escape to quiet and New York. He understands the contrast. Marcus is from a big city, but likes the idea of a small town. Leo decides to use a simple sentence. "The quiet is nice," Leo says, "but New York must be exciting." Marcus nods vigorously. "Oh, it's a jungle, man. A concrete jungle." Then Elena speaks. Her voice is softer. She speaks clearly and slowly. Leo guesses she might not be a native English speaker originally, or maybe she is just a very clear speaker. "I am from Italy originally," Elena says, "so I understand the struggle with English. It is very loud in here. You are doing very well." Leo feels a wave of relief. Finding another non-native speaker in a group is like finding a life raft in the ocean. They understand the pain. "Thank you," Leo says. "The music is heavy." Elena laughs. "Yes, it is hard to focus." The conversation moves to design trends. This is a topic Leo knows. But in a group, the conversation moves like a ping-pong ball. Marcus hits the ball to Sophie. Sophie hits it to Elena. Elena hits it to Marcus. Leo stands there, moving his head back and forth. He feels like a spectator. He is afraid to jump in. He is afraid he will interrupt at the wrong time. This is a common fear. When do you speak? How do you enter the flow? Marcus is talking about minimalism. He says, "I think clients are tired of all the white space. They want maximalism now. They want color. They want texture. You know what I mean? It's like we've been living in a hospital for 10 years, and now we want a circus." Sophie laughs. "Totally. I had a client yesterday who asked for neon pink and lime green on the same page. My eyes literally hurt." Leo listens. He hears white space. Hospital. Circus. Neon pink. He creates the picture. Design was clean and boring. Hospital. Now it is crazy and colorful. Circus. He has an opinion on this. He likes color. He wants to say something. He waits for a tiny pause. Marcus takes a sip of his drink. That is the opening. Leo speaks up. I agree, he says. His voice is a bit quiet, so he clears his throat and speaks louder. I agree. In my town, people love color. They think white is empty. They want to see value for their money. Ink costs money. White paper is free. The group goes silent for a second. Leo panics. Did he say something wrong? Did he make a grammar mistake? Then Marcus bursts out laughing. That is brilliant, Marcus roars. White paper is free. I'm going to use that. That is exactly how clients think. I paid for the whole page. Fill it up. Sophie and Elena laugh too. Leo smiles shyly. He made a joke. Well, he made an observation that was funny. He realizes that he doesn't need complex grammar to be interesting. He just needs a unique perspective. His simple sentence, white paper is free, was powerful because it was true and direct. This is a massive lesson for you. You don't need to use long, complicated words to impress people. Simple truth is often the most impressive thing. Don't try to be Shakespeare. Be Leo. Be direct. Suddenly, the mood changes. Marcus starts telling a story. So, speaking of crazy clients, Marcus says, I had this guy last week. He comes in and he wants a logo for his dog walking business. But he wants the logo to be a cat. I'm like, are you pulling my leg? And he's like, no, I want to be ironic. Ironic. Can you believe it? Marcus laughs. Sophie laughs. Elena chuckles. Leo stands there with a frozen smile. He is confused. Pulling my leg? Why would the client pull Marcus's leg? Was it a physical fight? And why a cat for a dog business? He understands the words cat and dog, but the phrase pulling my leg blocks him. He looks at everyone laughing. He has two choices. He can ask, what does pulling my leg mean? And stop the laughter. Or he can just smile and wait. Leo chooses to socially listen. He looks at their faces. They are amused. It is a funny story about a stupid situation. He doesn't need to know the idiom to know the feeling. He smiles and shakes his head, mirroring Sophie's expression. This is okay. You do not have to understand every joke. Sometimes it is better to just flow with the mood. Later, he can look it up. By the way, pulling my leg means joking or lying to someone. Sophie notices Leo is quiet. She is a good friend. She brings him back in. Leo, she asks, what is the weirdest request you ever got? The spotlight is on Leo. 3 faces turn to him. The music seems to get quieter. He has to tell a story. In English. To natives, Leo thinks. He remembers Mrs. Gable. Well, Leo starts, I have a client. She sells homemade soap. She wanted a logo, but she wanted the logo to smell like lavender. The group looks confused. Smell like lavender? Elena asks. On the computer? Leo nods. Yes, she said. Can you code the smell? Marcus drops his jaw. No way, he shouts. Sophie screams with laughter. Code the smell. That is priceless. Leo continues, feeling confident now. I told her, technology is not there yet, but I can make the logo purple. She said okay, but only if it is a smelly purple. The group explodes with laughter. Leo laughs with them. He realizes something amazing. He is telling a story. He is entertaining people. He is not translating in his head anymore. He is seeing the image of Mrs. Gable and describing it with the words he has. He is not worrying about past tense or present perfect. He is just communicating. The joy of connection is stronger than the fear of grammar. After a while, the music stops. A man with a microphone walks onto the small stage. Good evening, everyone, he says. I hope you are enjoying the mixer. I want to take a moment to thank all our attendees, especially those who traveled from far away. Where is our furthest traveler? People start shouting countries. Germany! Japan! Brazil! Sophie nudges Leo. Where are you from again? Leo whispers the name of his country. Sophie raises her hand. We have Leo here. The man on stage looks at Leo. Come on up, Leo. Just say a quick hello. Oh no. This is the nightmare. Public speaking. Leo shakes his head rapidly. No, no, he whispers. But Sophie is cheering. Marcus is clapping. Go on, mate. Tell them about the smelly purple. The peer pressure is friendly, but strong. Leo realizes he cannot say no. He puts down his drink. He walks to the stage. His legs feel like jelly. His heart is beating against his ribs like a bird trapped in a cage. Thump, thump, thump. He takes the microphone. The light is bright in his eyes. He can't see the faces of the audience, only shadows. He hears the silence. Everyone is waiting. He remembers the rule. Keep it simple. Catch the main idea. The main idea now is just to say hello and be polite. Hello, Leo says. His voice shakes a little. He takes a breath. My name is Leo. I come from a small town. This is my first time in Rivendell, and this is my first time at an English conference. He pauses. He hears a few encouraging claps. I was very scared to come here, Leo admits. I was afraid of listening. English is very fast. The audience chuckles. They know it is true. But, Leo continues, looking at where he thinks Sophie is standing, I met good people. I learned that we don't need to understand every word. We just need to understand the heart. And I learned that you cannot code the smell of lavender. He drops the punchline. There is a pause, and then a wave of laughter from the corner where Marcus and Sophie are. The laughter spreads. People clap. They love it. It was honest. It was vulnerable. And it was funny. Leo hands the microphone back and walks off the stage. He feels light. He feels like he can fly. Sophie gives him a high five. You are a legend, Leo, she says. The rest of the night is a blur of smiles and handshakes. Leo listens to more conversations. He misses many words. He misunderstands a question about sports. He accidentally says, good night, instead of hello to someone. But he doesn't care. He doesn't beat himself up. He laughs at his mistakes. He has unlocked the secret. The secret is not perfection. The secret is resilience. At midnight, the party ends. Leo walks back to his room. The hallway is quiet. He enters room 402 for the last time. He packs his suitcase. He puts his sketchbook in. He picks up his old English dictionary. He looks at it. He didn't open it once. Not even once. He didn't need to look up definitions. He found the definitions in the context, in the faces, in the tone of voice. He sits on the edge of the bed and reflects on his journey. He creates a mental list of what he learned. He wants to remember this forever. First, the anchor words. Just like on the plane, nouns and verbs are the anchors. If you hear dog, run, park, you have the story. You don't need the cute dog is running quickly to the big park. Second, context is king. At the breakfast table, he knew the question was about eggs because he was at the egg station. Your brain is a prediction machine. Use it. Third, clarification is power. Asking, did you say B or D, didn't make him look stupid. It saved him from getting lost. It is better to ask once than to be lost for an hour. Fourth, emotional listening. When Sophie was sad about her job, her tone told the story. When Marcus was joking, his loud voice told the story. Listen to the music. not just the lyrics. And finally, the human connection. People want to understand you. They are on your side. If you smile and try, they will help you. They will wait for you. They will laugh with you, not at you. Leo turns off the lamp. He lies in the dark, listening to the city outside. The sirens, the cars, the wind. It doesn't sound like noise anymore. It sounds like life. He closes his eyes and falls into a deep, peaceful sleep, ready to fly home tomorrow as a new version of himself. A version that listens not with fear, but with curiosity. And now, my dear listener, we come back to you. We are back in the studio. Leo's story is finished, but yours is just beginning. I wrote this story to show you that the feelings you have, the panic, the confusion, the fatigue, are real. But the solution is also real. I want you to try a challenge this week. I call it the 3-word challenge. Find a video on YouTube, maybe a news clip or a vlog, that is a little bit too fast for you. Watch 1 minute of it. Don't look at the subtitles. Just listen, and try to write down 3 key nouns or verbs that summarize that minute. Just 3. If you can do that, you have won. You have caught the main idea. Then, try the emotional challenge. Listen to a podcast in English for 5 minutes. Don't worry about the topic. Just ask yourself, how does the speaker feel? Are they happy? Angry? Surprised? Try to identify the emotion before you identify the words. This wakes up the right side of your brain, the intuitive side. And please, remember Leo's speech. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to understand the heart. Do not let the fear of missing the word stop you from joining the conversation. Do not let the fear of making a mistake keep you silent. Your voice is important. Your stories are important. The world wants to hear about your lavender soap moments. Listening is a bridge. It is the bridge between your mind and the world. Every time you listen, you are building that bridge stronger. It takes time. It takes patience. But every single day, you are getting better. Even when you feel stuck, you are absorbing patterns. You are learning. Thank you so much for joining me on this long journey with Leo. I hope this story helped you relax and see listening in a new light. If you enjoyed this session, please subscribe to English in Fluency and leave a comment below. Tell me, what is your biggest struggle with listening? Is it speed? Is it accents? Or is it fear? I read every comment, and I want to know your story. You are doing great work. Keep listening. Keep breathing. Keep moving forward. Until next time, I am Alex, signing off. Stay fluent, stay curious, and believe in yourself. Goodbye.